I'm literally here because I love this woman.
Too late, doll.
Come on. Can you cut the shit?
Am I enough? I'm a single mother.
Don't play that card. You can't play that card.
Gia, I know more than you think.
Hi guys, this is Edna, welcome to my channel. So this season of Married at First Sight came with a lot of explosive feuds, and some of these main characters, unfortunately, they are still there, so they are really bothering us every single night. It is normal to have dramatic people on the show, either dramatic or people that have very strong belief systems that are a bit controversial. It's pretty normal. I think that's they tend to bring all these different people and then just put them together to see what it turns out, and normally it turns out into a good, interesting thing. But I think that this season in particular, they brought too many people that just shouldn't be there in the first place. The kind of people that, because they had very similar personalities, they got together and they made they made the show almost unwatchable because it was disturbing to watch. One of these people in particular is this lady called Brooks. She didn't stay long in the show. She stayed for like a few weeks. Initially, she seemed like a nice, lovely girl that is getting to know this guy that is a bit weird himself. And that was all okay. But eventually, it's almost if something switched on her, and then we started to see some really negative, horrendous things coming out of her. One of the annoying episodes for me was when the ladies got together to discuss the negatives and the positives of the relationship. And Brooks, she wasn't allowing, specifically Stella and Alyssa, to talk at all. The behavior that she was having was like, whenever they would speak, she would say something like negative or make comments while she was sitting down with Gia, which was a bit childish, to be honest. Like, how old are we? This is like 30 something years. Brooks actually was 27 when she joined the show. Maybe by now she's 28, but Gia is probably 35, 36, and they are acting like teenage girls, 13, 14 specifically. And these two people, so Stella, it's really nice, very consistent character-wise. So, it's one of those people that what you see is what you get. Alyssa, she changed a little bit. I will talk about her later on. But Brooks brought a lot of negativity and bad behavior on the show. And she seems like the kind of woman that she brings other women with similar personalities, similar behaviors together. So Gia was always with her. Beck was always with her. There was this other lady that she left earlier. What was her name? Mel, I think, was also with them. So when Brooke used to make fun of other people, dinner party, or when they were doing tasks together, the other ladies, they would join forces to be negative altogether. And those episodes for me, they were really disturbing to watch, because what is this? To think that production would allow that type of behavior to continue for such a long time, for me, was also very impressive. And what's interesting is that because Brooke wasn't having a romantic relationship with her husband, she ended up leaving earlier. He was really sad. It seemed like he was really into her, even though he's the type of guy that has said things that are crazy themselves. But it seemed like he was a bit oh, okay, this is an opportunity to be with somebody that is actually interesting. Or maybe the experts did really good by choosing this woman for me. When in reality, she was just horrendous. She couldn't care less about him, to be honest. And she left the show, and then she came back to a dinner party to offend as many people as she could, make fun of people. It looked really bad. It looked so bad that apparently she asked production to remove the edit of herself because it looked really bad, and she claimed that she was drunk. She doesn't want to be portrayed in this way, and obviously production would refuse because it's adding spice to the show. And so she tried to take legal action. This is like not confirmed. I saw an article about it, so maybe it didn't happen like that, but it was apparent that she was upset over the way she was portrayed on the show. On top of it, we found out that she was still in contact with her ex, and nowadays she's probably a mom already. So she left the show straight away, go back to the ex, and life continue. This is how much she cared about the husband that was with her on the show. Okay. Next person that was extremely annoying, and I was super happy that she left, it was Juliet. Juliet was with this guy, Joel, again, similar to Lisa, big personality, but there is nothing bad about them in terms of personality per se. They are just very bubbly and loud. And he made a few comments as a joke that I think if he was towards me, I will find it a bit strange as well. So the day that the wedding day was a bit weird, but he turns out that he's actually okay. He seems like a nice, good man. But Juliet, when Juliet gets upset, she becomes a hormonal teenager. She offends everybody that is available to be offended. On top of it, she humiliated him a lot of times. She tried to find different ways to make him feel that he was less of a man because he has certain interests, or because he puts himself, the way he expresses himself in social media, the things that he posts, so it's almost like an embarrassment for her. Yeah, because she's a princess. And on top of that, she also decided to expose back because she learned from Gia that there was a group chat among few ladies where they were talking negative things about Alyssa's and David's relationship, and they were also talking negative things about Stella. So another character that she gets on everybody's nerves, it's Beck. She, for some reason, she managed to offend someone every single time that she appears on TV. Every single time. There's always a joke that doesn't land well. There's always a little bit of gossip of things that maybe she heard from another woman and then she's oversharing to the group. There is always something that she does or says that gets on people's nerves. And this is a very classic behavior of, okay, when I'm in a mood, I do and say whatever I want, but then when I realize that maybe that was offensive, I'm going to apologize. And then it goes on repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. And for her bad luck, she ended up with a man, what's his name? Danny, that it's very clear that he's known to her. And from few things I've seen online, because the season already finished in Australia, so a few things I've seen online, he belittles her as much as he feels like. Not in front of her face, but while giving interviews to production, which is horrendous. But then at the same time, it makes you feel a bit like the quantity of bad things that she already said and got involved in, to then ending up with a husband like that, for me it feels a bit like karma. I do not agree with his behavior of acting as if he's interested in her at all. That is not appropriate. But it feels very like, yes, you bad things happen to people that do bad stuff as well. It's not just the good ones, which we'll come back to that. So she keeps apologizing. People keep accepting those apologies, and then they go all back to talking, which I find a bit strange. There are so many, as much as we are part of a show, there are so many negative and offensive things a person can tell you for you to even continue engaging with them. It doesn't matter if you're in a show, you can just keep the conversation to a minimum, because Bax is no one's friend. She's the friend / enemy of Gia. Gia is another woman that it's a bit It's literally all over the place. It's very clear that she only came to the show because she wants to be on TV, and she wants to find a husband that is going to pay everything for her. She's not interested in being loved and respected. She's only interested in getting with somebody that pays for everything for her when they go on dates. That really summarizes who this woman is, at least the way she portrays herself on the show. Her husband, in the other case, Scott, I don't know, initially I was a bit like, oh, how can you see your wife being mean and disrespectful towards other people and still stick with her? But it seemed like he really genuinely liked her, which is sweet. He seems, personality-wise, he seems that he's really nice, and he was really interested in being in a relationship with her, but it all backfires when he sees her on a video where she's talking with another man, person that I would say is more like her kind of man, and she's very like flirtatious. She's like playing around with whatever the man is saying, which is a bit like, oh yeah, she's pretty much showing herself as available, and that is what like damaged the entire journey on the show, because until then he was always like, whatever she did, he was always like behind her. I want to be with her, I want this to work, da. No, I guess he didn't. Okay, the next person I want to talk about is Alyssa. Sun is going away. So Alyssa is currently still, for us on UK, she's still currently with David. David is really nice. She's definitely missing a lot. He's nice. Again, I keep saying respectful because the people that came up on this show this year, they were just horrendous kind of personalities. He's really nice, very respectful. He's quiet, so he brings her some balance because she's like a full of energy kind of person. But again, we towards the end of the season is when we are discovering that she's probably not really into him, or she probably feels that that's not the relationship she wants to be in, because he offered, or he was open to moving to the city that she lives. I can't remember. Is it Melbourne? Is it? I don't remember. But he was very open to moving to the area where she lives so that they can continue being and working on the relationship. She suddenly started to like back off, even though friends and families told her that he was really good, it was exactly what she needed. She started acting as if, oh, she's overwhelmed by the decision, she doesn't want him to move just because of her, instead of just admitting that she's really not that into him. He went on to say that he loves her and so on, which it was awkward to watch. It was really, really awkward because he was trying to fight for a relationship that it's not good, solid enough to even be called a relationship. So it just makes her wonder if they just created a relationship for the show. Is it real? Because the time he said that he loved her, for me felt a bit odd. Because when did you started loving her? I don't know, it felt a little bit odd. And then she couldn't accept that he got upset over her behaviors because she was again flirtatious with this other man. I don't know. If he was a woman doing that, if he was like the opposite, he would be, for example, David chatting and being flirtatious and having banter, she likes to say, with another woman, she will be offensive. She will find the behavior offensive, but because it was her, it was still okay. I don't know. I know. I think since that episode, I just stopped sympathizing with Alyssa. Her behavior in the show started to be a bit annoying, childish, too immature for my tasting. She does not deserve David at all. Hopefully he goes on and he finds his own person, because Alyssa, a person like Alyssa, it's not it. But I must say, I don't want to make it as if this season it was only about the complicated women. We did have too many and still have too many complicated women. We had a few men that were weird themselves as well. So we had Chris, Steve and Tyson. Very controversial characters. They said a few things during their interviews that were, I don't know, borderline offensive again. But because the relationship between them and their wives didn't really work, so they didn't spend enough time on the show for us to just, dislike them a lot. No, they just spent enough time for us to see, oh, okay, this doesn't work, it's very clear, let's move on. We don't want to continue seeing this. What's really annoying is the people that are also bad, they continue on the show because maybe their partner wants to be on the show, or maybe their partner likes them too much. Those are the complicated cases. And we land on what? Danny, as I said before, Danny and Beck, extremely odd couple. It seems like they're like friends with benefits for me. It doesn't seem like they're in a real relationship. I only got to know what was Danny's actual opinion on certain things when I saw videos of him on social media. Until then, I could see that he wasn't really into her, but I couldn't tell why is it he wants to continue being on the show if he's clearly not into her. But then I came to figure out that it's because he just wants to be out there, show his face, and probably increase his chances of seeing other women after the show. That's literally the only thing he wants, because he does not like Beck. He doesn't want to be with Beck. He's not attracted to her. He just keeps forcing it. And he apparently likes to make her believe that the relationship has something more. Yeah, he makes it believe that there is more to this relationship that actually exists. I find it very bad when they meet Beck's family, and he also makes them believe that he's like willing to work with Beck in order to develop the relationship, when in reality we know that he doesn't want to be with her at all. That for me seems a bit off. I don't like that part of it at all. And we also have a few people who weren't so bad. No, they were actually really lovely. So we have Stella and Philip. When I saw the wedding day, I wasn't sure if that was going to work out, but it actually worked out, and they are really, really, really lovely together. And then we also have Rachel and Steve. That, spoiler alert, they finished our relationship once the show ends as well, because I think they live in different cities, and then she wants to get to be with him and spend time with him, but he's more interested in spending time with his friends. I got to learn this because she went into a podcast. I saw a few articles about this scenario per se online, and this is the conclusion that I go into. So he's more willing to be with his friends than to be with her. That's what it looks like. While Philip and Stella, they continue solid. I think things are going forward, and maybe they will even get married, which will be really sweet. So just to finalize, I do think that this season was really disappointing. I don't know what perception you had, but I would say that for next year, I hope they get a mix of people, not too many people with like such bad characters, or like people that are extremely immature, because I don't know, most of us that are watching it, we are adults. And watching other adults on TV acting like children, it's really bad. It's really bad. It puts Australians in a completely different perspective than the rest of the world would manage. I see them as bubbly, nice people, the ones that I came across in London. Really bubbly, nice, a bit louder, that's fine. But the ones that come on the show, they... It really makes you believe, like, where do they find these people? Because these people are horrendous, and they shouldn't be appearing on the show. I don't think that certain people should be allowed to be on TV because they're so negative and then bring so many bad things that it puts most of us off. Yes, we love drama, but there's drama with mean girl kind of attitude. For me, it puts me off completely. Well, let me know what you think about this season. Do you agree with some of the things I've said? Do you have any more gossip? Do you know other things I'm not too aware of? Yeah, let me know. Leave the comments on the section below. Let's continue this conversation. Bye.